Hello students, today we are going to study pathophysiology and clinical symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, in short COPD. Now chronic obstructive pulmonary disease is an obstructive lung disease which is characterized by difficulty in exhaling air. It is a slowly progressive disease that is largely irreversible. Most important cause of COPD is the cigarette smoke. Chronic bronchitis and emphysema are the two diseases that contribute to COPD, and these two diseases usually coexist and are clinically grouped together as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now let's understand pathophysiology of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease with the help of a simple schematic diagram. Now, cigarette smoke causes chronic irritation and thus inflammation of the innermost lining of respiratory tubes. So, there is a chronic irritation of respiratory mucosa and a chronic inflammation of the respiratory mucosa. Now, this inflammation on one hand progresses to chronic bronchitis, whereas on the other hand it results in emphysema. Now, this inflammation of the respiratory mucosa causes infiltration of lymphocytes, macrophages and polymorphonuclear leukocytes in the large airway, that is in the trachea and bronchi. Now important to note over here is this, that chronic bronchitis is a disease of large airways, that is the trachea and the bronchi. Now this inflammation results in the hypertrophy and hyperplasia of the glands that produce a mucus. So there is increase in the number and increase in the size of submucosal glands producing mucus, and there is also increase in the number of goblet cells and increase in the size of the goblet cells, and this results in the hypersecretion of the mucus, which is released in the lumen of the bronchi. And apart from this, there is ciliary dysfunction. Now as we know that mucosa of the bronchi is made up of ciliated columnar epithelial cells, and the function of cilia is to remove mucus from the lumen. Now because of the ciliary dysfunction, ciliated columnar epithelial cells are unable to remove mucus from the bronchial lumen, and further there is formation of mucus plugs. So on one hand there is excessive secretion of mucus, on the other hand there is ciliary dysfunction, and this results in the formation of mucus plugs in the bronchial lumen, and that causes narrowing of the bronchial lumen. Now on the other side we see that inflammation causes swelling of the mucosal lining, that is overall there is swelling or edema in the wall of bronchi. So overall there is narrowing of the lumen of the bronchi, and there is difficulty in breathing, and this results in the chronic bronchitis. Now let's understand how inflammation and constant irritation of respiratory mucosa results in emphysema. Now because of the inflammation, there is infiltration of macrophages and neutrophils in respiratory mucosa and submucosa. Now macrophages release an enzyme called as metalloproteinases. Now this enzyme breaks the connective tissue, and it is the connective tissue that supports alveolar ducts, that supports the respiratory bronchioles. So there is loss of the supporting tissue. Now neutrophils, they release elastases. Now elastases is an enzyme that breaks the elastic tissue. Now elastic tissue is found in the walls of alveoli. So there is destruction of the wall of alveoli. So these two enzymes together result in destruction of the alveolar wall and destruction of the supporting tissue. Now because of the destruction of the alveolar wall, there is decline in the elastic recoil. Now normally what happens is this, that the alveoli stretch when we inhale, and the alveolar tissue comes back to its original shape and size when we breathe out. But due to destruction of alveoli wall, alveolar tissue is unable to effectively recoil, and thus it remains stretched, and therefore the process of expiration it gets impaired. Apart from this, because of the destruction of supporting tissue, supporting tissue, the tissue that supports the alveolar ducts, the tissue that supports the respiratory bronchioles. These structures like the alveolar duct, the respiratory bronchioles, they collapse, and because of which there is narrowing of the airway. So these two together, that is decline in the elastic recoil and narrowing of the airway, results in difficulty in breathing, and that results in emphysema. Now, in order to, if you want to understand the chronic bronchitis, if you want to understand pathophysiology of chronic bronchitis and emphysema in detail, you can refer to my videos on pathophysiology and clinical symptoms of chronic bronchitis and pathophysiology and clinical symptoms of emphysema. You can refer to these two videos. So, inflammation finally results in chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Thus, emphysema and chronic bronchitis, they coexist and they group together as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is largely irreversible. Now, let's talk about the clinical symptoms of COPD. Now, the clinical features of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. First is a prominent cough. Now, as we know that there is mucociliary dysfunction, mucus is not cleared from the bronchial lumen, and that results in the prominent cough. The person tries to remove the mucus with the help of cough reflex. Then production of sputum due to excessive secretion of mucus. Shortness of breath due to narrowing of airway lumen, due to the destruction of alveolar wall, due to the destruction of supporting tissue. Then tachypnea is a rapid breathing, and it occurs as a result of compensatory mechanism in order to compensate for the lack of oxygen. Then wheezing is heard as the air is forced out through the narrowed bronchial lumen or the narrowed alveolar ducts. Then tightness in the chest because of bronchoconstriction due to the difficulty in breathing. Now, all these conditions or the factors increase the frequency of respiratory infections. So, frequency of respiratory infections also increase in the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So, this is all about the pathophysiology and clinical symptoms of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Now, if you find the video helpful, kindly like, subscribe and share this video. You can ask your questions by writing in the comment section, and thanks for watching the video.